Have you ever felt yourself in a state of panic or a state where you're having an anxiety attack? You might feel like you have kind of a crushing, painful feeling in your chest. You might be shaking a little bit. Your extremities might be shaking. You might feel a little lightheaded, and you might feel like you can't catch your breath, and you're just breathing shallowly and rapidly. Now, if you've ever experienced something like that, I know it can be a very scary experience, but I want to teach you a tool in order to get yourself out of that fight or flight state and move you into a more relaxed state of mind. So the very first steps is you need to learn to exhale, actually, because if you're breathing in shallowly, you're not actually able to exhale all the way. And you need to exhale all the way, that way you can take a nice deep breath in. In fact, you can prove these to yourself right now while you're in this calm, relaxed state, watching this video. Just go ahead and take a few shallow breaths in and out with your chest, like take 5 or 6, and then try and take a nice deep breath in, and you'll see what happens. I'll do it along with you right now. So, it's very hard to take a nice deep breath in when you do that, because when you're taking those shallow breaths, all of your focus, all of your energy is focused on the chest, and when you try and take a nice deep breath in, it's hard to expand your lungs very much. So what we need to do is to actually train you to breathe through your belly. And we can do this in a really simple way. You can use your hands as sort of rudimentary biofeedback devices. You can take one hand and put it above, or put it on your belly, kind of above your belt line here. Hopefully you can see this with the camera. And then take the other hand and put it kind of at your breastbone. I have a microphone right there, so I'm not gonna try and cover it as much as I can. And then you want to breathe in through your nose. And then as you breathe in through your nose, you want to kind of push out your belly. That way it's your belly, your diaphragm, that really expands with air. So, and you'll be able to feel your hand, your lower hand, actually begin to rise. So if I do this with you, breathe in. You can feel your belly actually expanding, and then breathe out through your mouth. Do it again, breathe in. Breathe out. I wonder if you can actually see my belly expanding. I don't know if you can. So that is the basis of this belly breathing that we're going to teach you here. So let's assume that you're in a panic state, you're in an anxious state. What do you want to do in order to get yourself out of that? Well, the very first thing you want to do is you want to kind of place your hands, maybe one right here and one right here. That way you have your biofeedback devices here. And then I want you to sigh, just like, almost like you're annoyed with something, like I'm just so annoyed with that. And when you're doing that, you're also relaxing your shoulders, relaxing the back of your neck, ideally relaxing your face and your eyebrows as well. So that's the very first step, is to exhale, to release some of that tension. Just like you're annoyed with something, because you probably are annoyed with something. And then the next step is to breathe in through your nose with your mouth closed, and to expand your belly, to fill the lower part of your lungs with air. So just like this. And then you're going to hold that for a few moments. And then when it feels right for you, I want you to exhale through your mouth. And then hold this for a few moments. And then begin again. Hold it. Hold it once more. Inhale, holding it, exhale, and hold it once more. And it's important that when you're doing this, you want to breathe a little bit slower than usual, because if you take those big deep breaths and you just keep breathing really fast, you're going to get too much oxygen in your body. You might feel a little bit dizzy, and that's okay. That's just your body signaling you to slow down. And so after you do a few cycles of this breath, whether it be 5 cycles of this breath, or maybe you do it for 5 or 10 or 15 minutes, after you do that, take a moment to assess how you feel. You'll probably notice that you feel a lot more calm, a lot more relaxed, and that's because you've stimulated that vagus nerve. There's a nerve cluster that runs through your torso right here, and it activates what we like to call the rest and digest phase of healing, which is really the opposite of fight or flight. So now that you kind of know the basics of this belly breathing exercise, I want you to practice it. You can go ahead and practice it after this video is done, but also practice it throughout the day. When you're waiting in line at the grocery store, just go ahead and practice that belly breathing. You don't have to put your hands right here once you kind of get how to do it. You can do it very secretly. You can just be standing right here and just breathing through your belly. Holding it. Letting go. And you can do this almost in a stealth way to calm your anxiety, because I know that's one thing that can be really embarrassing, is if you're in a grocery store, you're at work, you're in some public place and you're having a panic attack or the start of an anxiety attack. And this can kind of head that attack off before it even begins to take hold. So the more you practice this when you're in a calm state of mind, the more effective it's going to be when you need it most. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at ben@brilliantside.com or go to my website, brilliantside.com. Have a wonderful rest of your day.